I'm bringing to the stage Justin Williams, everyone. Okay, Justin, you've done this before. Do you remember the answers that you gave me on the last show? Because I don't.
I do. I love you, Amanda.
He's the only one that actually used his favorite movie then. So what is your favorite space/alien movie?
Scooby-Doo Space Invaders.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
I mean, the mask says it all. And why?
Because it's Scooby-Doo.
Because it's Scooby-Doo. Alright. Have you ever been to space, Justin?
One time with my VR headset.
How's your brother Chesterfield?
He's so fucking good.
He is so fucking good. Alright, I'm gonna get out of here. We're gonna let your headliner take it over. Justin Williams, everyone.
Thank you to those who stayed. I love You're amazing. Amanda, you're the only one I know. And Jen, how you guys doing? This kind of seems like a WWE like wrestling thing that got halfway built, and the owner of this bar could not afford the rest of the ring. And we're stuck with this. This is lovely. Anyways, guys, how you guys doing tonight? You guys good? Fuck, it's like almost 11 on like a Tuesday. Oh, I love comedy. No sleep. So, for those of you who don't know, I'm recently single. Right? So, hey, it's my buddy, you're back. Oh, we met in the bathroom. I miss you. It's all good, man. We met at the glory hole. It's like a water. It was nice. He beat me.
You won.
Oh, he's too kind. He's too kind. Guy's massive. Guy's massive. Anyway, so for those who don't know, I'm recently single. Right? Kind of sucks.
Uh-oh. Get a towel.
She said she has Scooby snacks in her purse.
Oh, baby girl, come here.
Some tissue.
You know what it's all about.
He has a mystery man.
You took my joke, sir!
I love it.
I do have a mystery machine if you want to come through. Anyways, so I recently became single, and the weird thing is about dating, and here's the thing, once you break up with somebody, you realize things about your ex that were like red flags you never noticed before. Like, my ex's family tree was in the shape of a cactus, and I'm pretty sure it's because everyone in it was a prick. We got it. And so here's the thing, dating before COVID used to be this old euphemism of like, hey, show me yours and I'll show you mine.
I still like that red flag.
Right? But now with COVID, it's like, hey, show me yours and I'll show you my negative COVID test. So, it works out, because COVID's made it to like an STI level now. You gotta check for that. So dating before COVID was always interesting, and now dating after COVID is just impossible. So I tried doing this online dating thing, and that's just scary. Like, the amount of bios I see that are like, not here to have sex, also don't send dick pics. And I'm like, ladies, how many dick pics do you guys get that's a warning label? Too many. Probably, and you're a dude. Have you sent some? No, I haven't either. And the thing is, I've never received a random boob picture. And I'm a boobs guy. Right? Exactly. I've been in relationships. And on my birthday, I don't get bare boob pics. I get like a happy birthday hand job. That's what I get. Which is nice in itself. But even still, like, I would just love for somebody to be like, thinking about you. Boom. Flirt with me, ladies. Like, catcall me. Say things that's going to scare me. Be like, hey, I love you on the first date. Oh, Jesus. Like, I just want to be loved, you know?
Wear gray sweatpants, they help.
Like Serge Ibaka did? You ever see that photo of Serge Ibaka when he first got traded to Toronto? He's just standing there, you can see it just hanging down here. And I'm like, Serge Ibaka, that's how we do it. Anyways, so dating back, like, online dating is complicated, and dating nowadays is really weird. Like, and the weirdest part about even, like, getting back in the dating pool is potentially coming across your ex in public. Has anyone ever done that before? You've ran into your ex? Well, it's Brantford. I'm assuming like your ex is his ex and her ex and his dad. So, but anyways, so I went on a date recently with a girl from Brantford, actually. We're in line.
Oh, I got it.
And we're sitting there, we're sitting there trying to get food, and from behind me, I could feel death. And I look around, and there's my ex. But she's not alone, nay, she is with somebody else. And we lock eyes, I'm like, gosh. So I turn around, and she goes, hi, Justin! And I'm like, hi, whore. And she's like, who's this? Pointing to my date. And I'm like, this is your replacement. You may call her Upgrade. And she goes, this is Travis. I'm like, I don't care who Travis is. And she goes, Travis goes to University of Toronto, has a double major in English and psychology, and a minor in human studies. Now, 2 thoughts went into my head. Number 1, why do you have 2 degrees? Number 2, you're definitely compensating for something there, sir. And if I'm missing a beat, the girl I'm going on a date with whips around and goes, oh, that's cool. So, Travis, which McDonald's do you plan on working at? Yes. So, that was a good time. Score for me. But, yeah. Man, dating's just weird, man. And it's weird, because like I said, during the pandemic, right? There was different points in my life where I went out to go meet different people. Like, I met a date one time at a Black Lives Matter march, which is a weird place to meet somebody. She was also black, so it was just convenient. So we're marching together, and I took a knee for Black Lives Matter, and in the bedroom, she took 2 knees for me, so it was equality. Why is that getting an applause break? It's like, Brantford blowjobs! All right, man, all right, cool, I'll take it. But anyways, so, like I said, dating's really complicated, especially in, like, the line of work that I do, right? As a comedian, it's just, you're always, and I'm an actor, too. Like, some of you may actually recognize me. I'm on a commercial that broke 2 million views on YouTube. You can Google it, and it's essentially me beating the shit out of my then partner. And it's like, spousal awareness, don't do it. And I'm like, hey, the amount of DMs I got from people, they're like, you played that role too well, sir. And I'm like, thank you, I'm awaiting my Oscar. Because forte, that is acting. But anyways. And I'm not the only one struggling with dating, right? Like, one of my friends calls me up and she goes, yo, why are all guys idiots? And I'm like, hey, not all guys are idiots. Just the ones that you date are. Just like every girl I date comes with baggage. And I don't mean a little bit of baggage. I mean like a fanny pack full of hates, a purse full of regrets, and like 3 wheelie bags full of daddy issues. Just like, the last girl I made love with, midway through I was like, who's your daddy? She turns around and goes, I genuinely don't know. I'm sorry, love, I'm sorry. I wasn't meant to do that this evening. I do apologize. But before this pandemic and before dating, I was going on tour a lot. And I was in Germany. Now, for those of you who've never been to Germany, congratulations. I was in a city called Hamburg. Now, Hamburg is a city based on the concrete foundations of drugs, sex, and alcohol. So it's pretty much Brantford.
Yeah, Brantford of Germany, yeah.
Except you guys have better teeth. Now, I was nervous going over to Germany. I didn't know what to expect. So I called up one of my buddies and I said, yo, what do I expect? He told me 2 things. He said, number 1, you need to make sure that the Germans focus on you. And I said, they're Germans. We're all aware if they're good at one thing. It's concentration. And then he said, hold on, it gets worse. And then he says, make sure your first joke hits them low and hard. And I said, okay. So here's the joke I said on stage verbatim. I walked to the mic, grabbed it, looked into a crowd of people and went, this country is so messed up. I would say you guys need Jesus, but since he's a Jew, you'd probably kill him. And they loved that. They're like, oh, it's funny, yeah, history. Because the thing is, Germans don't hide their historical hiccups. They embrace them. I swear to you, they take 8-year-old kids over to Auschwitz and be like, und see this Scheiße? 9 again? It was funny, when I was in Germany, I asked somebody, I was like, yo, how do you guys recover from the war? You guys hosted 2 wars and lost. And the guy, without missing a beat, goes, uns get really good at soccer. Really good. And I'm like, true that, huh? It's true that. But if you ever get a chance, Germany's amazing, man. So here's the thing. I was going to be in Germany for 3 weeks. I was doing like a whole kind of like tour from north to south end. And I need to get a cell phone plan because I refuse to pay premiums. And I go to this T-Mobile booth, and there's a girl there and a sign that reads English, Dutch, and Espanol. I'm like, cool. Immediately the girl goes, "Sprechen Sie Deutsch?" And I said, "Nein. Sprechen Sie English?" And she goes, "Und du wohnst da handy?"
Fuck yeah.
Now nobody told me that a cell phone in German, the slang is handy. So when she said, "Und du wohnst da handy?" I went, "Nein, I want a cell phone plan. But if a handy comes with it, I'm down." And she goes, "Und what type of handy do you want? We have the premium handy." I'm like, "I'll take a premium handy. That just sounds amazing." So I come with like scented lotion. What are we talking about here, baby girl? And then she's like, "Und do you want to hear about our family plan?" And I was like, "Family plan? Honey, I don't plan on involving my family in this at all. Thank you very much." I saw that, Amanda. It sucks because I'm the only. I know your name. That's it. Like you six kind of fucked, and none of them the good way.
I lost a bottle of popcorn with the pen.
It's all good. It's all good. I usually don't swear in my sets, but I feel like Brantford has kind of brought out the hick in me, so it feels good.
Sure, a happy ending.
Always happening. So if you ever get a chance, please go to Germany, man. The country is picturesque. The beer is alcoholic, and the people are disgustingly attractive. I never realized that I performed great in front of a better audience until I came back to North America and I performed in Grimsby. Sitting front row were these ugly humanoids. Every time they smiled, I noticed something different about their teeth. It was either black, yellow, missing. And I told myself after the show, I said, "Jay, you are never, ever letting your relatives sit front row again." Threw me off my game, man. But it's like I said earlier, it's tough being a comedian, man. Like, and the person who I end up dating has to be tough too, man, because I'm gone all the time. Also, my family are a bit of dicks. And I love them though, but they're tough to be with. Like, my father is born 1955 in Newfoundland, Canada, from a small little outport of a town of 40. He made up almost half the town's population, right? And the thing is, he came from the same two parents, all 15 kids. My nanny never needed a bus to get to work. She needed a skirt and an updraft. She would just like Mary Poppins her way to get to work. It was glorious. But my dad's so hard on me though, like, this is a true story. I told my father, I said, "Dad, I want to go bungee jumping." And he said, "Son, a broken rubber brought you into this world, and a broken rubber can take you out." It's like, damn, Dad. This is the same dude who on my birthday gave me a card which read, "One man's trash is another man's treasure. By the way, you're adopted." Thanks, Dad. But don't worry, I got him back though. I got him back because I was cleaning the house recently and I found a bottle of Viagra. So I know my old man's gone soft on me. Hey, what it do, guy? How you doing? Let's pose there. So I know my old man's gone soft on me. And my mom's a hard ass too. My mother grew up in like 1962, back when dyslexia wasn't a thing, but she had it, if that makes sense, right? My grandmother just thought she was dumb, right? So my mother, let me paint a picture for you. This is how bad my mom's dyslexia is. I was in Los Angeles, California, about to perform at the Second City Theater. I'm in the green room, I'm nervous as sin. She shoots me a text message, which is supposed to read, "Hey baby, love you lots. In order to stand out, in order to fit in, you have to stand out." Right? So we love you, baby. In order to fit in, you have to stand out. What she actually said was, "Hey baby, I love you. In order to outfit, you have to stand in."
Yes.
What? And I called her and she's like, "It's dyslexia, goddammit." And like hung up the phone. I was like, "I love you, Mom."
That's it, thanks.
Alright? Anyways. But it's like I said, man, and like, I've been very fortunate to go to Germany. I've been lucky to hit up Los Angeles. The weirdest place, though, I've ever been, actually outside of Canada, was over in Atlanta. Has anyone been to Atlanta before? Like Atlanta, Georgia? Right? Why have you been there? Or are you just very supportive? If that, I love you. I was in Atlanta, and it's the only place you can hear trap music and country music at the same bus stop. Like, I'm trying to get downtown to the club, and all I hear is like Fetty Wap, and then right next to me is Hank Williams Jr. just going at it, and I'm like, this is lovely. But also, it was the only time I was ever called a racist. Because in Atlanta, I had a goatee, and Trump was in power. And I swear to you, I was standing at a bus stop, and a guy comes up to me and goes, hey, screw Trump. And I was like, hey, I agree with you. Now keep in mind, I have my Toronto hat on, I have my Toronto Blue Jays sweater on, I have like Toronto Raptors pants, like you can't mistake me, I'm a Toronto fan. And he goes, didn't you vote for Trump? And I was like, no, I'm Canadian. And he's like, oh, where's your maple syrup? That's the legit question he asked. He said, where's your maple syrup? As if I have it in holster. So anyways, that went off the rails a little bit.
He was hitting on you.
I think he was, sir. Probably in the Atlanta, Georgia way. Yeah, exactly. My natural maple syrup, Amanda. So, anyways, I was doing, so after from Atlanta, I ended up doing a show over in Ottawa. Now, here's the thing about Ottawa. That's the first time I experienced cancel culture at its finest. I went up to do a show, and here's the joke that got me in trouble. All I said was, I'm thinking about having kids. I don't know if I want them to necessarily be mine, so I'm probably going to invest in a slightly used product. Or adopt if you're politically correct. That's all I said. Half the crowd lost it, the other half got offended. One girl stood up, tears down her face, crying, and she goes, my friend was adopted at the age of 3 and returned at the age of 12. Can you make that funny? I said, yeah, give me a second. And I go, look, I'm sorry your friend was adopted and then returned. That should never happen. But maybe next time she'll pick an adoption agency that doesn't have a satisfaction guarantee policy. Her and her triage, which is the proper word for that, entourage, there you go. Her and her entourage just left. And I leave I get off the stage, whatever, I walk down, I get paid my $20, and I get a DM on Twitter. Now here's the thing. I tweet a lot, it's my thing. This person was following nobody, this person was being followed by nobody. And all it read in my DMs was, hey idiot, which by the way, great way to start a subject line with me, automatically hooked. He goes, hey idiot, I hope your dick is as big as your ego. I'd like to think it is. And then in the tweet, she put hashtag feminism. Something her adopted friend will no longer experience. So, yeah, that was a bit tart, wasn't it? That wasn't a good one. Oh my God, guys. Yo, Jen, what's my time? Good talking to you.
8 minutes.
Just go. 8 minutes left? I don't know, just saying things. What's going on? I'm just having fun. I don't know how long I've been up here.
You just get to have fun.
Just gonna have fun? Oh, cool, awesome. All right, cool.
As long as somebody's paying attention, just keep telling jokes. You're the headliner, man.
Oh my God, don't give me that power.
Just keep your running. It's not
All right.
yet.
Well, unfortunately, I do have to wake up at like a decent hour in the morning, so...
5 more minutes until 11.
5 more? Okay, I'll leave it at like a quick joke, because you gotta do your like closing stuff. Anyways, so... Here's a bunch of, I shouldn't say here's a bunch of one-liners, but essentially, here's something that I've kind of always wanted to go over. And it's you know, practicing my one-liners, right? So I started writing some, and I hope you guys kind of like this. I got fired from my job as an engineer. True story. We're in a telephone conference, and they start doing things. They'll be like, hey, give us an example of a ball. And you're like, oh, basketball. And they're like, give us a color. You're like, red. My team lead goes to me and goes, give me an example of PPE, which is personal protective equipment. And I went, condoms. Apparently, that's not corporate approved. When I was studying to be an engineer, at one point I was so broke, I considered omelets gourmet. And with my current self-esteem how it is, I consider sexual harassment flirting. So ladies, It's okay. But last but not least, I'm going to leave you on this one joke, and I thought it was a cute joke to write, so here it is. Last night, I got so drunk, I tried to put a quarter into my car's ignition. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's my time for tonight. Thank you so much.
As you say.